What is up, YouTube? Casey here with Lions Den Investments and Reviews. Hope you guys are having a good night. Not a whole lot going on in the crypto market, so I'm not going to get real deep into technicals here, but I just want to show you the charts real quick and what to expect moving forward. And we're just going to look at Bitcoin and Ethereum real quick because those are the two dominant tokens controlling this market right now. Bitcoin, as you can see, these red lines here, I put those in as resistance and support based off the weekly charts. So there's, a lot of demand in those areas on the longer time frames. And the yellow lines are your Fibonacci retracements. Okay. Again, like I said, they're very strong areas of reaction and demand and price. And what I was saying in my last video was I told you that I was expecting a pullback on Bitcoin. We come down to probably about the 382, which is right there at about $56,157. I don't know if that's going to happen because you have these weekly support lines in place too. And so our first one here is at $61,550. And you can see we wicked like really, really close to hitting that price, and then bounced back up on that candle. But I would expect, just looking at this, we're going to be, continuing downwards in price a little bit here. Not to be spooked. Don't worry about that, because if you look at Bitcoin and what we did, just in a matter of like half a month, guys, we've surged up 60%. Okay, and so what I'm trying to tell you here is, if you're looking at blow off tops and looking at well cycles and Elliott waves and all that stuff, yes, you can go parabolic, but you're going to need a breather here and there and let the prices fall down to new higher lows. Okay? It's normal price action. So don't get spooked about it. But what I'm going to tell you real quick is, if we look at Ethereum, okay, Ethereum, we had this upward wedge channel going. We broke above that, and we couldn't close a daily above 4,150. We couldn't close above that on the daily. We might tomorrow, because we've got another ETF coming out tomorrow, guys, on Wall Street, okay? And, we can get into that here a little bit later, but you saw what happened with the first ETF that caused the prices to go up. We got a nice little rally there. But, the second one coming out, it's going to have to compete with the first one. The first one was historical and had, some of the largest inflows of cash and volume going into that ETF in the history of Wall Street. So this second ETF is going to have a lot to compete with, and the chances of that happening a second time, I think, are pretty low. So what I'm saying is, if this ETF hits tomorrow, don't be surprised if the prices don't really just like go parabolic, right? Because if you look at technicals on charts, and again, like I was saying, the prices, when they reflect these big surges up, for instance, like with Ethereum, you got a price range down here all the way up. I mean, Ethereum did a 50% surge up too. So you need a breather. You need the prices to come down a little bit, find a new higher low, and then we can shoot higher. Because I don't think this bull run is over yet by any means. But what does that mean for altcoins, right? So here's the thing. If you're in altcoins right now, this is where it gets tricky, because Bitcoin and Ethereum, when they have their runs up like this and then they come back down, historically, throughout this entire bull cycle, we've seen Bitcoin and Ethereum both retrace, like on average, anywhere between like 25-30%, And if you look at the charts, in that previous one that we had, hold on here, let's bring it back up. On this previous pullback, we're right there at 30%, okay? I don't think you're going to get anything like you did back here, per se, where like Ethereum dropped almost 60%. I don't think you're going to get that again, because if you did, you can kiss your bull cycle parabolic moves in price goodbye. And we're running out of time, guys. I mean, I have a time frame of the end of December when this bull cycle ends. It could get extended a little bit just based on some of the charts that I've seen from other technical analysis, but just looking at previous well cycles and knowing what I know about well cycles, they pretty much line up every single time. They don't necessarily repeat each other exactly, but they rhyme. So what I'm saying is there's not a whole lot of time left. So we really can't afford any drastic pullbacks here that are going to take too long, when it comes to the date ranges, because again, in this last pullback, that lasted almost a month, 29 days. So if we get pullbacks like that lasting a full month, uh, good luck with Bitcoin hitting like 200,000 or Ethereum hitting like 15 to 20 grand. I'm not trying to be bearish here or scare anybody off with that. I'm just saying you want to have a plan in place in case the market doesn't do what everybody's expecting, because that can't happen, right? So you need to have a plan in place, especially in these altcoins, where if we get a retrace that drags out for say like 29 days, and it smashes and wrecks all the technical charts on your altcoins, you don't want to be stuck there, praying and hoping and smoking opium, thinking that your altcoin price is going to go up, right? Because that's how people got stuck in the last bull run when we had the blow off top. They kept thinking the prices are going to go higher, or their tokens started going down in price because Bitcoin and Ethereum started coming down, and they kept thinking it was going to go up again, right around where they bought, whatever. And they just kept waiting, thinking prices were going to go higher, and Bitcoin and Ethereum kept finding new lower lows, and before you knew it, people were sitting there at the very end, losing 85-90% of their wealth, and then they were stuck for like 3 years because if they cashed out, they were going to lose all their money. So they were stuck there for like 2-3 years during a bear market and the bottoming out there, and just waiting for prices to come back up. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that person who gets stuck because you're in an altcoin project right now. It's not really doing what you think it was going to do. For instance, like I'll give you a great example. Theta, okay? Everything on Theta is screaming bullish as far as, reversals and patterns, prices going up. But if Bitcoin and Ethereum were to get wrecked right now, I mean, look at this. Look at this real quick. I just want to show you something. And I'm showing you Theta because I am invested in Theta, okay? And I am bullish on Theta. But there's a 10% chance this thing could go against us. I mean, look at that. 74% so far that we've dropped in Theta since its all-time high. If Bitcoin and Ethereum decide to have a 20% retrace on another 30-day expansion, where it extends out for 30 days, what do you think that's going to do to altcoins like Theta here? Okay? It's going to drop. You're going to get a bottoming out. Theta will continue to drop. And then you're looking at, support lines down here, 80%, coming back down to 86%. Okay? Yeah, you're finished. I mean, your Theta bull market, you might as well kiss it goodbye at that point. So what I'm saying is, here's a plan that you can put in action for any of your altcoins. If they decide to go against you like that, the best thing that I can think of as far as protecting yourself would be to have some prices on how low you're willing to go, and then convert that to Ethereum. Okay? Convert it to Ethereum, because the thing is, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the two most dominant tokens, and they're, even if they have a 20% pullback, chances are they're going to go a lot higher, and they'll move a lot quicker than some of these other altcoins. Some of these altcoins, guys, have already had their bull markets. And that's why I'm looking at Theta right now, and I'm going, man, I mean, we've been in a downward trend on Theta. God. I mean, look at that. 214 days. Now, it's a perfect setup so that prices can go a lot higher. But, there's that 10% chance if Bitcoin and Ethereum end up taking a 20% dump or a 30% dump. Well, what do you think that's going to do to Theta? That'll bring it all the way down here past all our support levels and take us down here to like prices of 269, 205, maybe even lower than that. Because on average, altcoins will retrace from their blow off tops, normally on average, anywhere between like 85-90%. And we're not there yet. We're only at like 62% right now on Theta. And this is just one altcoin. So the reason why I'm saying that again is to protect yourself. You want to have some prices in place where, hey, that's my absolute bottom in case I'm wrong here, and it doesn't go up in price, and then you can convert to something like Ethereum, where what are the odds that Ethereum is going to go up higher from where it is, even if it takes 20% retrace? You want to ask yourself questions like that because the odds of that happening are pretty great. What are the odds of Theta going up and going parabolic and making you rich right now? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of 50-50. Right now, it looks very, very bullish. But like I said, if Bitcoin and Ethereum retrace, screw your technicals. It's just going to wreck your technicals. And then you're going to be stuck there. If you don't have a plan in place, you're going to be smoking that hopium. You don't want to do that. And guys, here's some advice for you. Okay. As an investor, this is what separates the successful investors, long-term and short-term, from the people who don't know what they're doing. And that is, you cannot let your emotions get in the way of any of your investments, and don't be biased on one single project just because it's a great project. Like, don't get me wrong, Theta's a great project, but I'm not biased about it because if it drops in price, the whole reason why I got into this bull run was to make money. I mean, that's it. I don't care if Theta is the best project out there. If it's taking a dump on me and I'm losing money on it and I see Ethereum skyrocketing, yeah, I'm going to convert to Ethereum, okay? And then what I'll do is at the top of Ethereum, take my profits, okay? And this is just my plan for protecting my own portfolio. I'll take the profits from the bull run because I won't miss out on it. Take the profits from Ethereum and then wait for Theta to bottom out, go back in on Theta, and then I can stake long term, reaccumulate, that sort of thing. But I don't have any emotional attachment to it. And what I'm saying is it's probably a wise decision, on your behalf, if you're in any of these altcoin projects. Don't be emotionally attached to it, and don't have a bias towards it, because you'll be stuck there waiting forever for it to go up, especially if Bitcoin and Ethereum end up taking a dump here and they completely wreck all your technicals. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but again, have a plan in place, trade your plan, and stick to that plan. Have some target prices where you want to get out so you can protect yourself. If you bought up here, at the very top, guys, then maybe you just want to wait. If you don't need that money right away, then go ahead and wait. But if you bought when I did and you were all the way down in here, at 25 cents, 50 cents, that sort of thing, for me, I'm still in a profit, so I don't care. For me personally, I'll let it go down to about $3.80 if that's what ended up happening. If we go any lower than that, though, I'm out. And I'm just converting to Ethereum and letting Ethereum ride. Because, again, got to look at your odds here. So I just wanted to point that out real quick. Let's get into the news. And the reason why I'm focusing on some of this news here is because you want to back out sometimes from the technicals, and when the markets aren't really doing a whole lot and people are just kind of like, well, where's the price going? Is it going up or is it going down? And you really can't tell because there's just really not a whole lot of price action, kind of like right now. Things are really, really quiet, which normally leads to explosions in prices either up or down. So I'm betting my money that 90% probability we're going to go up in prices. So like I said, I'm still bullish on the whole crypto market. But you want to zoom out and look at the global macro trends, right? Because that'll tell you a lot too when it comes to where we're going, even if we have a little pullback or retracement here. And everything that I'm seeing, guys, on the macros when it comes to the trends is extremely bullish, positive news. Like here, Bank of America launches a research group and it's on digital assets, right? And this research group is saying that it's too large to ignore. The nation's second largest bank by assets starts coverage 3 months after creating a crypto research group. Okay. Now this was on October 4th, so this is probably a little bit of old news, but there's not a whole lot of people really talking about this. There is I found a couple people that were talking about it, but for the most part, nobody's touching on this at all. Bank of America has launched digital assets research coverage, again, nearly 3 months ago, forming a crypto group. In its coverage, the bank highlighted companies from payment providers and banks to utilities to media giants, right? Digital assets are a $2 trillion market with 200 million users. Um, they said, we believe crypto-based digital assets could form an entirely new asset class. Um, Bitcoin is important with a market value of 900 billion, but the digital asset ecosystem is so much more. Tokens that act like operating systems, decentralized DApps, without middlemen, stable coins pegged to fiat currencies, central bank digital currencies to replace national currencies, and non-fungible tokens. There's a lot there, right? Bank of America noted that the venture capital investments in digital assets and blockchain technology surpassed 17 billion in the first half of 2021. That dwarfs the 5.5 billion from the same period last year. So it's growing, right? And it's growing at such an exponential rate that even your largest bank here in the United States can't ignore it. They're creating a crypto research group. Um, and, this creates a new generation of companies for digital assets, trading offerings, and new applications across industries, including finance, supply chain, gaming, and social media. Now, why would they be doing this, though? It's because Bank of America sees the trend. They see where things are going, and they're looking at companies who are getting into blockchain right now because they want to know, what is it doing for them? Like, is it benefiting them? And obviously it is, because they're growing. It's growing at an exponential rate. Um, and the companies so far that have been successful with blockchain, that's who they're paying attention to, because Bank of America doesn't want to be left out, guys. They don't want to be left out, and you know, they're doing this research so that they can be a part of that, and then offer that to exposure to their clients, right? So that's very, very bullish news on the macro scale. Let's go over here. Financial advisors managing 110 trillion can now offer crypto trading to clients via interactive brokers. 110 trillion dollars, guys. Um, let's see what they say here. The SEC registered investment advisors manages more than 110 trillion dollars. Now they can buy Bitcoin and Bitcoin ETFs from around the world using interactive brokers. Guys, that is a lot of money. 110 trillion dollars. And I don't know about you, but with that kind of money coming into these ETFs, as more get launched, and out there on NASDAQ and on Wall Street for the world to use, um, what do you think that's going to do for the price of, the entire market? I think you're gonna see it go from 2.5 trillion, where we are now. You could very easily have, I mean, that's 110 trillion dollars. Um, that market cap's gonna go bonkers. So, again, long term, this is great for cryptos. Short term, again, you already know my perspective on that. You want to have a plan in place to take profits, and you also want to have a plan in place if things go against you, and what are you going to do about it? So you're not stuck sitting there sucking your thumb, waiting for prices to go up, and they don't for like 3 years. I don't know why anybody would want to hang on to an asset praying and hoping that the price is just going to go back up, and it never does, at least for like 3 years. Because I've seen that happen, and that's what happened to a lot of people back in 2017. When we had the blow off top and it came down, and a lot of people got wrecked, and the ones that didn't just held, and they had to hold for 3 years. You don't have to do that. You can get out, especially if you're in a situation like me where you got in early. You can get out, take your profits, you know, convert to Ethereum, make more profits, get out at the blow off top, and leave your other project or investment in the dust, so to speak. Even if it's not, I mean, because some of these aren't going to do anything, guys. If you look at the top coins in 2017, they've changed from then to now. The top 10 now are completely different from the ones back in 2017. Why is that? Because some of these projects, they go by the wayside, or they just don't do anything, or haven't created anything new. So it's a ever evolving market that you have to pay attention to, and there's so many tokens out there. You're better off if you stick with the top 10 this year. Again, just look at the top two, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's a safe bet. So last article here, and then I'll wrap up this video. This is Russia aims to replace US dollar reserves with digital assets in long term. Okay, so this is another big story nobody's talking about. Last week, the Russian president said it was a bit early to use cryptocurrencies to settle oil trades. Um, it is possible to replace the US dollar with other currencies, both national and regional, as well as some digital assets in the long term. Uh, Basically, I'm not going to go into this article too much, but the official that was reporting on this said that the MFA Russia isn't excluding the possibility of replacing the US dollar with some digital assets alongside other currencies. So they're considering it, um, and rightfully so. I mean, when you got a country like us who printed up $25 trillion over the last 2 years, okay, and now they got inflation rates anywhere between like 6.8% to 7% and rising, you know, they're losing control. So the rest of the world sees this and they're going, okay, well, if you're going to destroy your currency like so many countries have in the past, we need to hedge against that. Russia here is doing that. I'll leave a link in the description so you can read this article here if you want to know more about Russia and what's going on there. But really, that's all I wanted to point out for today's video is the macro perspective on the entire market right now. Because really, guys, we're kind of just sitting here right now going, okay, what's going to happen next, right? And that's why I said it's very important to have a plan in place and stick to your plan and then execute your trade, okay? Because at the end of the day, that's you don't want to lose your money. The number one rule to investing or trading for that matter is not to lose your money. So stick to that rule. But with that said, guys, that's all I have for today's video. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well. And I'll be shooting another video here soon, maybe this weekend. I don't know. If not, I'll get some more videos out here next week. But with that said, you guys have a good night. And as usual, fear nothing, my friends.